In Dark Souls 1, the protagonist faces many challenges. He escapes the asylum to go to the interconnected Firelink. Then he explores the commons in the Undead Burg. He marches into glorious and aristocratic Anor Londo, but he also goes underground into the depths, Izalith ruins and much more. In the end, he reaches Klin of the First Flame. But no matter how dark the lands he traverses, and no matter how scary the bosses, the protagonist is always the same. He is silent. The only time he makes sound is when he... In this video, I will analyze the cause of protagonist's mutism, the challenges he faces because of it, and why the choice in the end of the game, the choice to link the fire or let it die, is actually a false dichotomy. Like Miyazaki once said in an interview, sound, like trauma, is kind. In the beginning of the game, the protagonist is in the asylum. Why? Because everyone thinks that the main character chooses not to speak, finds it problematic, and thinks that he should be fixed. Nowadays, such disorder is called selective mutism, a disorder in which a person doesn't always speak because that person might feel anxious, for example. And considering how Lordran is in turmoil, there are reasons to be anxious. Imagine you go down the Undead Burg, someone stops you and asks, who do you support? Forest Hunters or the Blade of the Dark Moon? And you're afraid of answering this wrong, so you stay silent. That is perceived as dangerous in this world. Thus, our protagonist got institutionalized. Then we got rescued by Knight of Astora, the first outcast of the game besides the protagonist. He doesn't hate you for your mutism because he himself is against the establishment. Once you break out of your cell, the asylum staff attacks you. They demand your obedience. Asylum Demon is a special case though. He attacks you because he's also a patient in the asylum with unresolved issues. Those issues are the cause of his aggression towards everyone, including the main character. Once you defeat him and leave the asylum, you reach Firelink. Firelink links the protagonist with most of the Lordran's misfits, people who for one reason or another are nonconformists and see you as a friend, not as a threat. Firelink's Firekeeper is mute just like the protagonist. When you talk to her, it's like two souls who understand each other perfectly, without using a single word. They both feel each other's anxiety. By now, most of the Lordran is on high alert. The asylum breakout made Lord Gwyn angry. He has issued a bounty on your head. Enemies will attack you for this particular reason. They want souls and they like big chests. Imagine how hungry for souls all these poor and greedy residents of the Undead Burg are. Maybe I too would attack the main character if I lived in these slums. Either way, your goal is to reach Lord Gwyn and defeat him. It's very simple. You soul him before he souls you. Even though many of the enemies are bounty hunters, not everyone shares those motives. Many attack the protagonist for reasons unrelated to the chests. Enemies of Blighttown are one special case. They've lived underground in their own ecosystem for a very long time, and then you just barge in there and say nothing. How dare you not be surprised by their underworld? That makes them angry. Anor Londo is already rich. They don't need the money. So why do they consider you a threat? Simple, because you're rude. When in Anor Londo, do as Anor Londoans do. You have to come to them and bow deeply. Protagonist does not bow and does not speak. In Anor Londo, that is punishable by death.
So uncivilized.
Great Hollow and Ash Lake are... honestly, I have no clue what those places are about. Probably nothing important. Painted World of Ariamis is a unique story on its own and requires its own video. For now, I will only say that they don't even know about the bounty and you're the one just invading their world. Darkroot Garden and Darkroot Basin don't like you because your silence feels too civilized for nature. Your silence is not environmentally friendly. New Londo Ruins and Four Kings in particular are really special. The place is full of ghosts, and at the bottom of it all, we have Four Kings in the Abyss. They are basically as mute as you are, so what's the deal with them? It's because your silence threatens their silence. You're their competition, a usurper. They fear like your silence might out-silent their silence. The Abyss looks and feels like Nietzsche's void, yet your presence there is a big problem. Nobody is allowed to be more silent than the Four Kings. Duke in its archives has a special motive. They are not greedy per se, but they need the money. They do not care about the chests. The enemies in Catacombs are afraid of you just like the enemies in the Anor Londo ruins. Until you reach the Tomb of Giants. By that point, they love you and your silence. They think it's lovely. They want you to join them and stay there forever. However, you are not safe there until you beat Lord Gwyn. Lost Ruins and Izalith have nothing to do about anything. Their lore is one boss who is a copy of Asylum Demon, and Bed of Chaos, whose lore is to torture the player with RNG. DLC area also requires a video on its own. I mean, it's a DLC. What do you expect? After you defeat the bosses necessary to activate Lord Vessel, you can finally defeat Lord Gwyn, the bounty giver. His bodyguards feel like weak hollows now that you're so powerful. Once I've sold him so easily, I finally get to decide, let the flame die or preserve it. This is actually a non-issue. The reason is simple once you realize it. The game doesn't show you any special outcomes once you make any choice. That's because the freedom to choose was never here. No matter what you do, one thing remains constant from the beginning of the game. Your character remains silent. And that's it. Protagonist fought for his right to remain silent throughout the game. That's all he ever wanted. Not the money, the power, the chests. Just some peace in this turbulent kingdom called Lordran. And once you've beaten Lord Gwyn, that's what you get. Tranquility. Nothing else matters. Congratulations. Now go and remain silent. Also subscribe.